The job reports came in and it came in super strong, stronger than expected, right? Stronger than expected. But I know what you're thinking. Orlando, isn't that great news? It's not. It's not. That means that the Fed has to continue to raise interest rates, guys. And this is great for housing prices going down, bad for any type of debt like car loans, credit cards. It's still going to get pushed up. But let's jump into it, guys. My name is Orlando. Welcome to the channel. Please hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help out my channel. It says here, payrolls rose 311,000 in February, more than expected, showing solid growth. Now, if you've been watching my channel, you've known that I've been very critical of the Fed and how they're, penny pinching on the rate increases.
Penny pinching, penny pinching.
They're doing 25, 50 basis points. When I've been saying, please, just put the nail in the coffin. Go ahead and do a 1-point increase. Let's stay on these 75 basis point increases. Because if you're not doing that, you're doing nothing but making the pain longer and longer and longer. The Fed finally came to its own senses and they said, you know what? You know what, Orlando? You're right. You know what? I just got done watching your video and you're right. I should have really been pushing the envelope from the very beginning. So you know what? We're going to start doing that ASAP because this jobs market is just out of control. He kept saying max employment. He just wants to make sure everyone has a job. But here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. One of the things that I've said in my previous videos is the maximum, I don't know if he says maximum employment or unemployment, but the point what I'm trying to make here is he wants to make sure that the inflation and the amount of people that are working is at its maximum.
Huh?
So right now, currently, right now, that's off. We're at 6-something% inflation and the unemployment is super, super tight. It's super low, right? And with that being said, what that basically means is a bunch of people have to get laid off for inflation to go down. For inflation to go down, we need to fire some people. He's not going to say that, guys, but I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to speak directly and straight to you. The Fed is saying, I will fire people. I need people to get laid off. And a lot of people, we're talking 2-3 million people being laid off. That could be you. And if that's you, I want you to be ready for this. And when it comes to buying a home or buying that new car, why would you go ahead and make these big, huge purchases when you don't know the security of your job? Especially some of you who work at these factories and you've seen all of these headlines of like GM. I just saw recently, GM is doing a big buyout of individuals and they're laying off tons and tons and tons of people because they're trying to cut their bottom line. And if you've been watching my channel, what is the number one thing that a company is going to do first? Are they gonna try to figure out a new product to sell to people before they go ahead and fire people? No, they're going to fire you first. Job creation deaccelerated in February, but is still stronger than expected despite the Federal Reserve's effort to slow the economy and bring down inflation. Non-farm payroll rose by 311,000 for the month, and a Labor Department reported on Friday that was above 225,000 Dow Jones estimate and is a sign that employment market is still hot. Now, it's really hot. Like everybody knows, you see wanted signs, you need help and all that other stuff. But once again, let's be clear on this. There is a high demand for the lower tier jobs. I think that's one of the things that a lot of people aren't understanding. A lot of these hotel, housekeeping, waiters, and all that other stuff, that low level work in a high labor jobs, like if you were working for a moving company or if you were working, something that's just high labor, those jobs are available. There are tons of those jobs. You want to become a contractor, you want to install carpet, you want to put up drywall, you want to do any of that stuff, install flooring, those are tons and tons of those jobs available. And there is a huge demand for that, which shouldn't make sense because you would think to yourself, why is there still high demand with all of this high inflation? Can Americans still afford to put new flooring in when it's went up by 20%, when the labor went up double? And that's what you would think to yourself. But the answer is yes. when they're using credit. It's not their own money that they're using credit. So with that being said, that is pushing the demand. So long people continue to buy, then companies will need to hire labor and employees to fulfill that. And that's the reason why the Fed is saying,
okay, now look, we've been too soft on it.
and here's the thing, even though I believe the Fed should push up and continue to be more aggressive with the rate increases, do I really think he's going to be aggressive with the rate increases? No, I'm just going by history. I think he's still going to ride the fence, thinking that he can stop a recession from happening. He doesn't want to be the person that everybody points the finger at and say, this is what you did the day you did it, and this what caused us to go into a deep recession. He doesn't want to be that person. Instead, I guess he'd rather be the individual that people go,
Wow, this Fed took us into a recession and it took us 4 years to get here. Now we're in a depression.
that's what I feel like. I feel like he is literally, we're just going through a grinder, guys. Slow, nice and slow through a grinder. And he's thinking that this is just going to magically disappear. I can slowly grind away at inflation. And without him being aggressive, you hear me, guys? Without him being aggressive, this is just a slow death from inflation. It really is, guys. It's super slow. Now, let's take a look at this graph here. Now, we take a look at it and we can see that one of the biggest was in January. It was 504,000, and then we're at 311,000 in February. So once again, unemployment is really low. It seems like anyone can get a job right now, right? Anyone can get a job. And then it says here, job reports are likely to keep the Fed on track to rise interest rates when it meets again in March 21 through 22. But traders priced in a less of a chance for the central bank will increase to a 0.5% increase, dropping the likelihood to 48.4%, or about a coin flip. So even though the Fed just came out and said, I made a mistake, we need to push up interest rates higher and we need to do it faster.
That ain't no problem. That ain't no problem.
He came out and said that, his own words. He didn't give an exact amount. The central bank still believes he's going to still stick to this 50 basis points, that he's still going to stick to the 50 basis points. And here's the thing, I think it too, and I'm only going by history, that he's going to continue to stick to the 50 basis points. Instead of going up 75 basis point, I think he's going to do 50 basis points and then do it more frequently. Rather than doing 75 or 100 basis points one time every 2 months, he's going to do 50 basis points every month and then see what the data says so that he doesn't take us into a recession that we're already in. That we're already in, guys. And it's getting crazier and crazier and crazier. And this is the reason why it's so important, guys. It's so important to follow your local housing market and find out, because every place is different. I just saw right now that Nevada surpasses 1.5 million jobs in January. Unemployment rate is the highest in the nation. Did you guys hear that? Unemployment is the highest in the nation in Las Vegas. And that's not good, guys. That is not good. We're talking about an industry that is based on gambling, entertainment. And what that means is that people are still spending globs and globs of money on travel. They're spending globs of money on entertainment, and they're spending globs of money on gambling. They could lose their money. That makes no sense. And where are they all getting this money from? That's right, guys. You heard it. They're getting the money from credit. People are borrowing money to gamble with. It sounds nuts. It sounds crazy, but that's what's happening. And if you truly believe that all of this, there will be no consequence, and that we're just going to go back to 2%, 3% rates, and you don't think anything's going to happen to the housing market, that we're just going to go back to 2, 3% rates, housing market is going to continue to go up 20, 30% like the 2 years ago, and you think there's going to be no consequence for all the debt that is being pushed out right now that Americans are consuming? No consequence. If you think that's going to happen, then I don't know what to tell you. But just to hold on to your pants, we're about to go on a roller coaster ride, and it's going to be going down more than going up, guys. Once again, guys, you won't get all of your information from this one video. Watch this next video here. I promise you, it will give you information about the housing market, getting to your first rental property, financial news. I promise you the information you will get from it will be gold, guys. So I will see you in the next one. Thanks.